Kevin, the Angel of Death, Aguilar. Charles Rosa, 12-4-0. Kevin is 17-3-0. This is a weird fight because both of these guys were one-time prospects. Both of these guys had a whole lot of upside to them and then just kind of fell off the map. So Boston Strong, he disappeared with those injuries a couple of years ago, took 2 long years off after his bad loss to Shane Burgos, comes back and gets an upset win over Manny Bermudez. We all know what happened there. He stuck his toes through the fence. Maybe he shouldn't have locked that armbar off. Maybe the referee should have stopped the fight. But either way, he gets it. He bounces back. He has me sold, and I got swindled. I bet on Charles Boston Strong Rosa against Thug Nasty. One of the biggest mistakes I've made this year so far. Thug Nasty completely schools him just a couple of months ago. Rosa had nothing on the map for Thug Nasty. But he showed off his submission defense. Dude is incredibly slick when it hits the mat. He knows how to keep himself safe. He knows how to work a guard. He can get his guard back. He doesn't really try to get back to his feet, though. That's something that I see that I think is a bit of a problem. I like Charles Rosa's ground game a lot. However, his striking game is a big question mark. He circles out well. He attacks leg kicks well. And then he kind of blitzes in from a range. And the problem is he ducks his head down and he wings these big overhand shots. And he just doesn't seem to have a lot of power. Even though it looks like he's landing hard, even though it looks like he's hitting a lot, he doesn't seem to rock anybody. I just don't think he's got that God-given gift of power. And the same thing with the leg attacks. He kicks low kicks, he kicks leg kicks, and that's such a staple of the game. We've talked about it at the beginning of the show, how Perez used that to take out Formiga. Very important, very powerful tool. However, he has yet to do anything with it. He uses leg kicks in every single fight, but he doesn't slow anybody down. I just think he's got no pop on his punches. Kevin Aguilar on the flip side of this thing, very light on his feet. He also works the low calf kick. However, his is very, very powerful. And he feints level changes, which is going to keep people on their toes. I love that. The threat of the takedown, that's something I talk about a lot. It opens up paths. It opens up other opportunities for your striking. If you make people think, hey, he might dip in for a takedown here. He's got a very explosive right hand, good tight boxing, and a big heart. This guy never quits. And you know what? That's something I can't take away from Rosa. They both have massive hearts. Neither of them give up. The spots that Rosa was in against Thug Nasty his last time out, a lot of other people would have given up their neck. A lot of other people would have been like, just let this end, because he got embarrassed on a national stage. He kept coming. So I can't say that just Aguilar has heart. They both have heart. He has excellent takedown defense and a very, very strong get-up game. Bear with me just 1 second here. I got to get my stats up for this. When I do the show live, it's a lot harder to keep up with my mouth because I'm trying to talk and not bore you guys to death while I'm pulling up the stats and information that I need to quote at you. So I didn't have this one up and ready to go, but I want to make sure I actually quote these stats correctly for this one. So Kevin Aguilar actually has a phenomenal 86% takedown defense. He's had 4 UFC fights, so it's a decent sample size, and he's gone to decision in 3 of them. So that means he's got 3 full 15-minute fights that we're able to pull that kind of information from. He fought Dan Ige, Enrique Barzola, and Ricky Glenn, as well as Tuhugov. 3 of those 4 names are very solid, strong wrestlers. The fact that he's been able to keep the fight where he wants it, defend the takedowns when he needs to, and have an 86%, that's big time. That is big time to me. He averages 3.73 significant strikes a minute. However, he's absorbed 4.44 significant strikes per minute. That's been to Tuhugov and Ige. He fought very closely with his first 2 UFC opponents that he had unanimous decision wins over, and the 2 step-ups in competition that he's had so far, he was outclassed on the feet, and that's really what leads to that difference. In MMA, sometimes the numbers lie. We have to be able to piece together what exactly happened. You've got to watch the tape, and you've got to know how the fight played out, because if you just look at the numbers, there's a lot of misinformation in MMA, and you've got to be able to sniff that out. And that's one of those things that I feel like the strike differential for Aguilar is not quite as bad as it looks on paper right now. Charles Rosa, on the flip side of this thing, averages 3.21 significant strikes per minute, so a decently lower workout rate than Aguilar, and he absorbs 3.96. So he has been outlanded essentially his entire UFC career, and those numbers are not overly skewed. I don't see a problem with them. So he generally just doesn't do so hot on the feet. He has a 40% takedown defense. He is willing to accept bottom because he's so confident in his ground game. He's willing to go to his back. He averages 2.35 takedowns over the course of a 15-minute fight on average, and he averages a 34% takedown accuracy. So those numbers aren't awful. He does go for the takedown. He goes for a lot, getting it over 30%, averaging that many takedowns. It's a good sign. This guy scores well. He grapples well. He gets it to the mat. However, I think he's running into a brick wall here. I don't think he's going to be able to take Kevin Aguilar down. And because of that, he's going to be completely outclassed on the feet. Now, what we've got here is Aguilar is a -160 favorite. The comeback on Rosa is +140. And Rosa's making a quick turnaround. He's coming off that Thug Nasty loss. He's looking to erase that from people's memories. He's looking to kind of right the ship and get things going again. And I just don't know that he's got it. I mean, he's 33 years old. He's kind of a busted prospect at this point. At 31, Kevin Aguilar, he can get back on the horse. But I think Rosa's getting into that territory of being a stepping stone. And I like Charles Rosa. Part of me is kind of rooting for him. But I think Kevin Aguilar's got this one. I don't know that I want to lay -160 on it, though. So we're going to have to watch this one closely. I'm kind of hoping some money comes in on Rosa. I've seen a lot of people picking Rosa, and I don't think it's a good matchup for him. So we'll see where this line goes as to whether or not I make any kind of a play. Yeah, Just Bleed MMA saying I think Aguilar is going to work Rosa. I completely agree. Oh, we're talking about the Cyphers fight. Yeah. Mo Scream TV, my boy, what is up here, buddy? Thank you very much for joining in. I appreciate it. Yep, all right. We're about caught up there then. Thank you guys for keeping the chat rolling. I appreciate all the banter going on in the chat. It's fun when everybody gets in, engages, and has a good time. All right, so let's move on to the next fight. That's my lean there. I'm thinking I'm probably going to bet Kevin Aguilar. It's just a matter of how and when and at what line, but I'm going to keep an eye on it very, very closely. That's one I'm intrigued by. Heading back over to the card here, we got to head to the main card.